And when?
I was born 1901 in town of Westphalia, Michigan.
All right, Mother, where were you born and when?
I was born in Isabella County near Buchel City on April 20th, 1905.
Okay, what's your maiden name, Mom?
Pash.
Who was your mother and father?
My mother was Barbara Fox, and my dad was Andrew Pash.
Where were they from?
My dad was born in Westphalia, and my mother was born in Germany. And she was 7 years old when she came from Germany.
You know where she was born in Germany, Ma?
Not without looking. I have the name written down. If somebody will hand me that little, where my Christmas cards are in, it's in there. There's a little red book in that, where my Christmas, a little basket for Christmas cards.
While we're looking for that, Dad,
That's
where
it.
were your mother and father?
It doesn't need to come out.
They was born, my dad and my mother was born in Westphalia too.
I don't think I ever knew that. They
You
came
know
from
where
Westphalia
Grandma and
too.
Grandpa came from?
No, well, they came from, Grandpa and Grandma, they came from Germany too.
Your mother's
Whereabouts,
father?
Bob?
Your
No.
mother's folks or your dad's folks?
No, my mother's folks.
Your dad's folks.
My dad's folks did too.
How'd you end up in Buchel City?
My dad's folks came from Germany.
Well, they moved from Germany. They moved
Yeah.
from Westphalia to Germany, to Isabella County, Buchel City, because, well, it was a little bit easier to get land there, to get a start. There were lots of people that come from Germany and their families. Now, my mother, her family settled in Tuscola County, and my mother's father came over from Germany and worked for a few years and acquired enough money to send for his wife and their children. And at that time there was my mother and a half-sister, Aunt Hattie, and Uncle Frank and Uncle Joe came on the boat. And they came steerage class, very rough. They got very sick. I don't think they had a stateroom at that time. They were glad to get over in this country, and they settled. That's Tuscola County, is near Saginaw. And just how they happened to go to Isabella County or Mount Pleasant, I don't know.
Do you know how your folks got over here from Germany, Dad?
My own folks
I
didn't
know,
come
but
from
no,
Germany.
their folks, their parents. You don't
No,
know.
I don't remember how they got over here.
Surely-
I know my dad's father. I think he died when he was around 54 years old.
So you grew up in Germany, Pop?
Yeah.
Whereabouts? Do you know any whereabouts where in Germany you grew up?
No, I thought probably it was around what they call there's a place called Westphalia around in
There's
there.
a-
See,
The entire province.
that's how that Westphalia got started over here
The entire
because
province of Westphalia.
Yeah.
It's not-
Now,
Yeah.
my parents are a completely different kind of
Yeah.
German. They're a Irish German, and it was in Ireland. And this name, Aunt Mary gave it to me, which is my mother's sister, before she died. And because my mother died rather young, so I didn't acquire a lot of information, or I don't remember. I was only 14 when she died. So, but it's spelled Waldkeiereim.
You want to try it, Grandma?
Huh?
How I pronounce it?
Oh. Waldkirchheim. Well, you know, or I'm.
What is
Waldkirch-
that? What's Waldkirch?
Waldker.
Walderkine.
Okay, huh?
Walderkine.
Walderkine, he
Yeah,
said.
Walderkine.
Waldkirch, what is that?
Walderkine.
The dialect they
Yeah.
spoke?
No, the dialect was Irish.
Yes, but
And there was as much difference between Irish
That was
and
what we-
German of the kind that they speak in Westphalia, which is a Low German type, and the proper German or the High German type. I could understand my grandparents and my mother and our aunts when they spoke to my grandparents. I could understand them, but I never did learn to speak that.
Both those dialects, though, were southern Germany. Were they not? Either one of you are from northern Germany, as far as you know.
Oh.
I mean, Bayerisch and Low German were
No.
both southern Germany.
Well,
What is
probably
it,
so.
October?
They were of a poor German class, to believe me, because I can remember my mother telling when she was still in Germany that they were so poor they would scratch or take a toothpick or a match and scratch the corners of the drawer where they kept the bread to get the crumbs. And they had to go begging, and they'd have to pray.
Now, what
Say-
year would that be
Well,
about
she
your
was,
contact?
they were both born in 1874.
Oh, you mean your folks?
Yeah. Yeah, they were, well, my mother was a little,
I
they
think
were about the same
This is a
age.
recollection of your mother, you
Yes,
said?
of
and
my
she was
mother.
still in Germany.
my folks.
Now, she was 7 when she came to this country, so she had
How
to
did
be
they
a
ever
little
get the
younger
money to come to this country
Oh,
if that poor?
my grandpa came here. His brother was here, John Fox, which is the Foxes of Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
And,
They sent money out there, and then they.
and he
Get enough
sent
so
money
they
to
get
get his
out there.
brother here, and then his brother, and get his family here, and then my grandpa came and earned money. They worked in the lumber woods. He fell off a train once, broke both his arms. I followed suit once and fell off a train. No.
Both your arms? Well, yes, yeah, I remember.
Your parents were born in Michigan, but
Oh yeah,
your grandparents were born
they were
in
born in Germany.
Germany. You know, how old were they when they came over to this country? You know?
Your grandparents.
Well, I heard my dad talk once about one of his sisters, something or somebody, got sick on the boat coming over here, and one of them died on the way coming out here.
Is that right?
And I know he mentioned that sometimes.
Grandma,
You know the name of
do you
the
know
boat?
your mother's maiden name?
Who?
Your mother's maiden name.
Close. Close.
Oh, her name was Helena Gross.
Helena Gross.
Helena
Gross.
Gross.
I know her.
And do you know what her mother's name was?
Whose
Your
mother?
grandma. Your grandma. Remember the one that was living
You
with
know
your
what your
mother?
grandma's maiden name was?
Well, that one lived with us. Her name was Gross because that was a mother to my. I don't know
Yeah,
about name.
but
You don't
before
know
she
her.
married, what her name
No.
was? You don't remember that?
What was her first name, Bob?
Your grandma's
What was
first
her,
name.
Oh,
what was her
I-
first name?
He was.
I don't know if it was Katie or Catherine or something like that. I know it was my name.
That was
But
Edith's mother.
I still think that Pa's mother was a sister to that.
Bengal?
Oh, Bengal, yeah. Oh, it was
Oh,
a Bengal.
Hare.
Hare.
There.
Yeah, they're living in Westphalia
And that
too.
was spelled how? How's that?
H-A-R-E.
Well,
That's German?
That's German
Oh,
too.
yeah.
German, huh? Yeah.
Well,
And
Wassenpfeffer.
That's,